Hello everyone. In this second video, we will see how to implement all that theoretical part from my last video about the IAM users, EC2 instances, the elastic load balancers, and the auto-scaling groups. So let's start. First, to introduce the IAM users, we will go to the console home. As you can see, this is the console app of AWS, and in here in IAM in the IAM dashboard, we will see in the left side the access management, where you can find the users that will have access to the console of AWS. So as you can see, this one is my IAM account in the AWS, and each user can have different policies. So let's see how to create one. First, we will click and create user. As you can see, we will put a username and we will click on next. After that, we will have to create a user group. As you can see, before I created an admin in my current account, but let's find out how to create a group and put our user. So we will create a group. We will write a group name, and we will put a policy that this user will only have the action to read our console. So we will click in read only. Now we will find in the permission policies where policy we want to put in our user. So here I will put I am read only access, and this user group will only have access to read and do not make any other actions like modify or move in our AWS console. So we will create this group, is creating, and we will select read only for this user name. Now that we click in our user group, we want to access that is read only. I will put next, and here we will review all our information that we put before, and we create our user. As you can see, we created our user right now, and we have our second users in the dashboard. So if we click in this user, we can create our access key that we will give you access to use the AWS console in your PowerShell. But to get this access key is personal, so we won't do it this time. And as you can see in permission policies, we have the only policy on read-only access. Now that we are clear about IAM users, we will move on to EC2 instances, and we will search the EC2 services, and it will directly put us in the EC2 dashboard. So to make a summary, basically to do a EC2 instance or Elastic Compute Cloud, first we will click in launch instance, and as you can see, we will have to put our name of our instances. I will put my first instance, and in the right side of our dashboard you can see that we can put different number of instances. So first I will put 2, so we can move on after create our instances to the elastic balancer load. And then as you can see, we will leave in Amazon Linux our Amazon machine image. We will leave everything like that, and in instant type, so to make a brief summary, this is basically the storage that we will use our instance. It has different types and different codes, obviously, but in this case we will just use this instance type for now. As you can see, we can put our keeper of our username, as I said before, that we can create our access keys. But in this case, I will use my current access key, or you can also click on proceed without keeper, but it will be more insecure for your instance. So we'll click in my access key. Now, as you can see, and I said, and I talked before in my last video, we have the security groups that are our firewall for our instances. We can or create a security group or select an existing group. And basically, to create a security group, you can first leave in allow SSH traffic form to anywhere, and also we will put the option of allow HTTP traffic because we will set up a web page. Now we will leave it the configure storage like this, and we will click in advanced details. We'll scroll down to the last part to user data, and I will copy and paste this code. So we will have something to watch, something to see in our web page. And basically that's all for EC2 instances, and that's how you create it. So we will launch our instances. And as you can see, we successfully initiate our EC2 instances. So we will go back, and right now they are running. But first I will rename this instance so we won't get confused. And here in our details of each instance, you can see a public IPv4 and private IPv4 address. So we will access first to we will copy and paste our public IPv4 address in each different tab. But we will first wait for each instance to initialize, because right now I think we won't see anything. No, well, right now it just initialize our each instance, and as you can see, we can see different IP from each instance, and that's how it works. That EC2 instances and how to launch it. And now, if we want just to use one address instead of just two like this, we will use our load balancers. So we will create a load balancer with the application load balancer because it's the most used one for this case. So we will create application load balancer. We will name our load balancer as a demo ELB. We will leave internet facing. Also, we will leave the address type. We will go to our network mapping, and we will leave the VPC like this, and we will select all our zones and subnets, so it won't have problems to connect to each zone. And now we will create our own security group for our load balancer, because it will allow us to access to the HTTP for this case. So for security group, I will put the demo ASG ALB description allow HTTP to ALB, and in our inbound rules we will select in type the HTTP, and we will select the all zeros, so it will have access to anywhere. And we will create this security group, and it's already created. So we walk back, we close the default, and we select our demo SG ALB. Now we will have to create our target group, so it will be redirected to our instances already created. So we will create our target group. Here we will leave the target type as instances. We'll create our target group name as TG group name, like that. We will leave in HTTP. Also we will leave the address type, and we will leave everything like that. So we will click on next, and we'll select our instances that are already running, and we will include as pending below. So we'll click next, and we create our target group. So it's already created. We will go back, we refresh our target group part, and we'll select the target group name that we created before. And after that, we'll scroll down and we create our load balancer. As you can see, right now the status is provisioning, so we will wait until the load balancer initialize so we can see how it looked like in its own URL. And now that is already active, our load balancer, we will put it aside our DNS address that we can find it right here in this name. So we will copy the DNS name and we will put in our search site, and as you can see, we will see first one IP, but if we refresh it, it will be changing, and it will be changing between our first and the second instance that we already created. And that's how it works and how you can create a load balancer. And finally, we will see how to create an auto-scaling group. But first, we will close our tabs because we will need to terminate our first two instances. So we will select them and we will terminate it. So they already terminated, or well, they are shutting down, and we will go to our auto-scaling group. As you can see, we will click in create auto-scaling group. We will put a name ASG V1, and as you can see, we'll need to create our template. So we will create one, and as you can see, we will put demo template 1, and we will scroll down. We will put in quick start our template. We will select Amazon Linux, and also we will select our instance type that it will be the t3.micro. Now in this case we won't use our keeper name, and also we will leave it the subnet like this. And for our security groups, we will, in this case we can select an existing group that we created before. that is our launch wizard tree. We will leave everything like that, and we will create our launch template. So it's creating our launch template, and it's successfully created. So we will go back and we select the template. Well, first we will refresh, and now we will select our created template. Now it will show us the details of the template, and we will put in next. You can see we will leave everything like that, because first it shows us the details of the instance type, and now we will select every availability zone, and we will leave it on balance best effort. We click next, and in load balancing we will attach it to an existing balancer, and we will select the target group we already created, so TJ group name. We'll scroll down and we'll leave everything like that. But first, do the health check, so we will see if each instance is okay to run, or if one instance is overloaded so it can change. So our auto-scaling group will change it for us. So we will click on turn on elastic balance health checks, and we will click on next. And here you can select the desired capacity you want on our auto-scaling group. So we will put 2. So we'll launch 2 instances. So the mean desired capacity we will be 1, and the max we will be 4. We'll leave everything like this without touching anything. We will click on next. Also, we don't need add notifications or tags, so we will click next in each options. Here we will review our auto-scaling group details, and finally we'll create our auto-scaling group. So now we will just wait until everything is set up. Now that our auto-scaling group is ready, we can see that our 2 instances that we created here, it will show us in our instances. As you can see, one is running, both of instances are running, and to see if they are healthy, because in case one of our instances get overloaded or stop working, it will show us here in our target groups. We'll refresh. Right now, both of our instances are initializing, but whenever they are running correctly, it will show us in our target groups that they're healthy, and in case that they are not working or they stop working, as you can see, it will show us that they're unhealthy. So we will just refresh, but that's basically how it works, the auto-scaling groups. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.